that coolness as our sun starts to dip. Let's come into our place.
So welcome everybody here to the beach and to our online community. We're in week 4 of our meditation summer series for education, connecting with nature and connecting with yourself. And we have been so blessed to be able to spend 3 of our 4 weeks outside in this beautiful space in Georgian Bay, and to spend 4 weeks with our community, learning about oils, reminding ourselves about the beauty of that connection through the plant life that it brings, and just practicing quiet, which sometimes in the summer we forget about. So if we can start off on a Monday evening to set our week right with a little bit of stillness, perhaps we set the tone to balance the energy that is summer. So this week, we are coming to the direction of the north, and we're honoring the earth. And I know that much of what Nancy and I have been talking about building week on week is the importance in your home practice of ritual. And so we've been using balance on the bottoms of our feet every week to begin to give your body a repetitive reminder that when it brings something regular into its being, it learns how to respond, what that Pavlov's dog response is. But we're going to save that tonight till after. I'm going to do the other ones first. And balance, you, for those at home that don't remember or are watching this for the first time and haven't seen the other series, is a grounding blend. So it's great for bottoms of the feet because it sinks us into the earth. It reminds us we have roots. It helps us to feel strong and connected. It is a blend of a variety of trees, but in honoring the earth tonight, I wanted to choose just a favorite tree. My favorite oil when it comes to trees. I love all the trees. In general, they're my favorite. But cedarwood is really my favorite. And I know one of the weeks we talked about kind of how the smell of something invokes a memory, and then we can respond to it. And so cedar for me is going back to the beginnings over 20 years ago when I first bought my cottage. Coming up in the winter, it's seriously cold out, opening the door and being hit with the smell of cedar because it was tongue and groove cedar in the walls of the cottage. And learning, because of course I'm coming from the city, my cottage was Pavlov's dog response, right? I've arrived. And so knowing what that would mean, knowing that would calm me down, and learning very quickly that we respond so quickly to smell, in a moment it's gone. So if I went out, grabbed a bag, and came back in, I couldn't smell it anymore. So I learned very quickly to enjoy that first breath, to sit down inside the cottage and just take those breaths in. So cedar is great for me for that memory, but I want to bring cedar into play for us in our meditation practice because it is so ensconced with our area and with the traditions as we honor the ancestors who are the original keepers of this land. So for me, bringing cedar and in fact sage is a perfect way for us to come to conclusion after 4 weeks of practice. So I'm going to offer cedar as one option and Clary Sage as the other. And I'm doing that again each week. We've had different opportunities to talk about the benefits of meditation. And I know we're not supposed to have a purpose for meditation. We're supposed to just be detached. But we usually have a purpose. We do it because we want to manage our stress, or we want to manage our pain, or we want to deal with our anxiety. The truth is we don't engage in a stress management practice as humans in the Western world, often without our reason. And so for me, my meditation reason is the spiritual reason. My true reason for practicing meditation is because it's my connecting place. It's my place to be with nature, whether that's for real or whether that's in my mind. And so as I come into the area to use cedar and sage, tonight I want to encourage you, as you dabble with all the reasons why you might have practice in your own life, to appreciate the opportunity for the spiritual component. So cedar and sage in that regard would be used in true herb form, burnt as a smudge ritual, as a way to release the things that do not serve you. Cedar clears the space around you, sage clears the space within you. And what I love about my oils is that I can't burn smudge in my house because my ceilings are only 7 feet high and the smoke sets off the alarm just like that. So now I have smudge in a bottle. And I love these. I love to bring them together, to use them over my body in a very purposeful, intentional way, the same way I would if it was smoke, to kind of say I'm clearing my space, I'm releasing what doesn't serve me. And that's what I'm going to ask you to do as you rub these together in your hands and as you bring your intention into space tonight. I use these in the diffuser at home a lot because I can't burn stuff. So it's a great way to use my oils complementary to my practice, which from a meditation perspective is my tapping in for spirituality. With respect to the oils themselves, we have cedarwood considered from an essential oil perspective as the oil of community. So it is, if we invite cedar into our life, it's a way to be connected. So again, going back to the spiritual practice, the idea of community for me is that reminder that we are a part of something bigger, that we are a part of all that is, that we are a part of the one true source, whatever that is for you. So as you take in the oil of community, the oil of connection, understand that you invite in the energy of expanding to a place where you remember that you're part of the bigger picture, that you're part of something sometimes beyond what you can see. And Clary Sage is considered the oil of clarity and vision. And so it's particularly good for accessing the third eye, our intuition, our higher self. And so after you've kind of allowed yourself to really think about moving what doesn't serve you with that oil, I encourage you to bring it here to your third eye, to bring that heightened sense of awareness as you come into your practice for today. So Nancy's giving you that opportunity to rub them together. For me, that the smell of those oils together, it's very earthy, it's very musty. It's a little different than the oils we've been using. We've had ginger for spice and we've had lavender for flower. These smells are really, for me, they just smell like the mother to me. They really do. They just really help me to settle into being connected to the gift of the space that we're in. Once we've had that opportunity to kind of clear our own aura, clear our own energy field, come into a mindset of purpose and intention to connect with your higher self and your community, we will bring the balance around because we're honoring the ritual. We're honoring the ritual of that weekly practice, and we've been doing that for 3 weeks. So as Nancy brings the balance, we'll bring that to the bottoms of the feet so that you have that centering, that grounding, that connection to the earth. And sometimes for some people that helps us in our meditation practice because some people are afraid to let go in meditation. In my many years of teaching classes, I'll have people say to me, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have an out-of-body experience. I'm afraid I won't come back. I'm afraid this will be so blissful and joyful that I won't want to be here anymore. And so, you know, all the crazy things our mind can do to restrict our experience, to put up the blocks that make it difficult for us to really release and surrender. So if we give ourselves the reminder that we're grounded, if we put trees on our feet, and if we remember those roots growing out into the earth, we will know that our body's safe here and that we're going to come back. Okay? So I'm going to take a moment to also take in the beauty of these two favorites, which, like I say, are so driven for me to create spiritual connection in my practice. Thumbs up or thumbs down if you like cedar and sage. I'm always curious to see how people respond. Thumbs up. The head's nodding. Yeah. Okay. And you know, we are energy, so if you're not used to working with energy, just really appreciate you don't have to do this to clear yourself. You can move energy above your body. You are an energetic being, and shake it off. Don't forget that part. Like, I release this. I release what doesn't serve me. And really, our hands and our feet are the places where energy leaves us and where we want to move what doesn't serve. Okay, and then balance for my little tootsies. And as I do that, I will pass the headset over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I often get into conversations when people are starting to discover what essential oils can do for them, and we get into that conversation of, well, how do I fit this into my habits? Like I have not yet had a conversation with anyone who says, you know what, I am so chill, like I've got like nothing going on, I can relax all day long and just learn new things. No one ever says that. They say things like, I'm busy and I've got a lot going on, how can I do this? And when we apply the oils in this way, where you can put the oil on your feet and away you go, you can take that moment to have a cup inhale and to move your energy. I call it my 62 seconds, where I identify something that I'd like to make a change in any given moment. And then I ask myself the question, can I use an oil for that? Because I love using my oils. They give me great support. And then I get that oil out. And all of that thinking process and applying those oils generally takes me about 62 seconds. And what I found with my habits is that when I take those 62 seconds, it multiplies for me. Where I had other habits that I might be able to shift out because I've grounded or I've centered or I've lifted my energy or I've soothed myself for sleep. When I invest those 62 seconds, I usually get a return on investment that is, at least double, fivefold, tenfold, because I'm not having to work through several other steps to get to that place that my oils have brought me. So, as we've helped you to experience these different ways of using the oil, I hope that that is something that has rang for you, that using oils can be fairly short. You don't have to invest, it's not you don't have to spend an hour and a half learning how to apply your oils. They're pretty easy to apply. As we head into our meditation, we are going to stand, and Cheryl was great to speak to you about ritual and meditation, that we really do respond to that predictability. We respond to that circumstance where we've created for ourselves, where we don't have to constantly make decisions. You think about some of your moving moments of the day and how many choices you face and how many decisions you make, how many priorities you're responding to. When we create a ritual for ourselves, we let that go. I know that when you create your practice, I know that I'm going to start by honoring the directions. I know that I'm going to set an intention. I know that I'm going to have some quiet time. And when you know those steps, you don't have to decide, am I going to have some quiet time today? It's not a question anymore. It just becomes part of your practice. And your mind can loosen to let that letting go happen, but also that listening for what is that voice that is in you or that comes to you to help you find more ease in your life. So I hope that our practice helps, maybe brings you a nugget that you might take into your practice as well. So let's begin. We'll stand up and I'm going to head to the east for the beginning of our directions. The sun has dipped, but it left me a path, so I do feel fairly confident that I am in the east. Find yourself with stability in the sand so that you feel all of that strength with which the earth holds you. Today we do honor the earth and the wisdom of that which is around us. And we'll finish there. We begin facing the east. In the east, I welcome the energy of the beginning way, the rising sun at the beginning of the day, and the light of illumination. Welcome eagle, flying nearest the heavens with the clearest of vision. I welcome the energies and the spirits of the east. And breathe that in. Gather what serves you. Release your breath and all that you do not need in this moment. We'll turn now to the south. If your eyes are closed, do open your eyes before you turn to keep your balance.
Is it small? Is it small?
We've turned to the south. Here I welcome the energy of service to all my relatives, the heat of the noonday sun, and the spirit of action in the world. Welcome Coyote Spirit. I welcome the energies and spirits of the south.
The water pose.
Breathe in the warmth of the south and release.
I'm gonna chill in the shower for a bit and then we'll go.
Can we chill right here for a bit?
Raise your eyes again as we turn to the west.
You got me.
This beautiful west. You might want your eyes open to
You know what makes me laugh?
see the finish of that sunset behind me. Breathe in to center yourself as you face the west.
Your back hurts at this point?
In the west, I welcome the energy of looking within
I don't know why, but
to find the gift of healing.
I don't know why that's
I welcome the
silly.
bear spirit going deep within to seek the gift of renewal. I welcome the energies and the spirits of the west. Take in those colors. Release the present.
My mom says that I only can play 2 hours and I have to go outside for like 1 hour to be able to go back home. No. Oh, I can.
We'll turn to the north.
Like you see, I can't really go out after.
The north, our place of wisdom, our place of conclusion. When we're facing the north, I welcome the energy of wisdom and blessing and the grandmothers and grandfathers who teach me. I welcome Buffalo and the spirit of giveaway. Teach me to be generous and honor all that I receive. I welcome the energies and spirits of the north. Going to come to a comfortable position, come back to our original positions, and I am going to bring you to 3 more directions from our starting spot. So come back to your mat and facing that beautiful water.
Oh, it's over there. Over here.
Find yourself steady and held by the earth.
Yeah.
In this space, look up. Another of our directions. I welcome the energy of the spirit here. Father sky, star people and cloud people. I welcome all that is masculine, our grandfathers, our fathers, our brothers, our uncles and sons, and that masculine energy that also exists within the feminine. I welcome the energies and the spirits of Father Sky. Let your gaze come down now. When we look down, we welcome the energy of Mother Earth, the feminine principle, the energy and the spirit of below. I welcome the energy and the spirit of our grandmothers, our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, and our daughters, and that feminine energy that exists within the masculine. I welcome the energies and the spirits of Mother Earth.
Okay.
For our final direction,
I'm a lizard.
bring your hands to your heart, and we look inward. And we let your eyes lower, your gaze turn inward. And this is where I welcome the energy of within, the principle of being connected, the energy and the spirit of within. I welcome the gifts of balance, oneness, and the connections of all things. For all things are one, and all things are related. From within, take your mind's eye through those directions that we've just experienced. The beginnings in the east, the energy of the south, the healing of the west, the wisdom of the north, the masculine of the spirit above, and the feminine nurturing of the Mother Earth. And know that you are the center of that lived learning, that journey that you experience with each breath each step, each moment. This is our moment to come into a comfortable position, to spend time in silence. You may want to sit, you may want to lay down. We invite you to let your body be comfortable so that your mind can open. When we come to the end of our 10 minutes of contemplation, we will use the bells to bring you back.
cloud. It looks like a rainbow. No. Okay. Daddy, come. Need your help.
Let the bells bring you back to the top of your head, down to your body, to your feet that are connected to the roots of the earth. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice your inhalation, the air that nourishes you, and the releasing of that which you no longer need.
We'll just say goodbye to our community online. And thank you all for 4 weeks of joining us. And we'll see you again in the fall. And thanks to Nicole and Kelly, who've been our tapers, our recorders.
Very much.
And enjoy the rest of your summer. On the group here, I'll take some time to debrief before we head on our way. So thank you, Kelly.